Good morning, everybody. Wow, look at that light bounce off my head. It's good, isn't it? Today is a really wet day. A really wet day. Now, I knew it was coming because obviously, for once, the weather report has proved to be correct. I lost my voice a little bit. Not feeling as fresh as I'd hoped, but I did have a busy day yesterday, and I'd gone out in the afternoon and we'd had a party and things like that. So woke up this morning and I thought, okay, got a couple of things on to do this. Definitely go to the gym. I do enjoy doing that. It's part of my weekly routine. And actually, I've started meeting family members down as well. So that's quite a nice thing to have, because you've got the accountability of people sort of dropping you a text and saying, hey, you're going to be at the gym, I'll see you there, which is always really good. And I mentioned it before, that's why I benefit in the long runs as well if you run in a group, because they're planned in. That's something that you need to be at when they start, and you can pull each other along and you can really push each other to work harder, which is, I think, sometimes exactly what you need, additional motivation. Not that I'm not already motivated, but I think there's certainly some people that it's very simple. For example, yesterday it would have been simple to have stopped at 21 kilometres, but there was an additional loop that we put in, takes us to, in fact, it took us 22 and a half. And it was only because two of us said, well, let's just take it to 23, and we carried on running. And that's how those sort of things come about. Anyway, because it's raining quite a lot, I've decided that I'm not going to run down to the gym and run back, because actually running down to the gym and turning up when you're soaking wet is not practical. Shoes are wet, it's not safe and sensible on the equipment, and it's not fair on other people. And then equally, running back as well, it's only about 1 kilometre, so there's not really a huge amount of point to do that. But what I'm planning to do, hopefully, is just see what happens with the weather later. I'm going to go out for a run anyway, but it's looking like the rain is going to at least calm over the next 6-7 hours. So if it means that I go out later this afternoon, that's absolutely fine. If the rain continues to be as hard as it is at the moment, then I'll just go out anyway and I'll just keep it light. But I do enjoy a nice run on a Sunday. I've got into that over the last couple of weeks, and that's proved very helpful as well. And thank you to everybody who commented yesterday. I really appreciate your tips and advice, especially on what to wear in the rain. It made perfect sense, the feedback that I got. I just wanted to double check because I assumed that I would probably get warm as I would normally on any other run, but I didn't want to get caught out and find myself actually and somebody saying to me, well, you need to bear in mind that actually you become quite cold and you should probably think about that. And then equally, I had mentioned that with next week's half marathon on the Saturday, I'd be going out for a run, but that also was not quite correct. It was offered yesterday, and I sort of said, yeah, sure, that sounds fine. But then I got home and I realised, I looked at my running plan, and the plan is actually to obviously take the day for a rest. Now I might go out and do something very light, and I got some feedback about things I could do, such as swimming and jacuzzi and things like that. So I'll do something just to keep the legs fit and healthy, ready for that half. But as I've also mentioned, that half marathon is I'm not using these half marathons to race, so I'm not expecting to come in with personal best. That's not the point of them. The point of them is actually to just use them as an initial part of my long runs. So I will take then kilometres additionally after I finish my half marathon, and then it should mean that I, over the course of the next couple of weeks, edge towards that 30k mark, which is just over 18 miles, I think. Whether I get to 20 miles, I don't know. We'll see. There's no huge pressure on that. The most important thing is that I'm just staying fit and healthy. We've got about 6 weeks to go, and that's not a long time. But if I can just get the more mileage in, that would be great. But continue to look after myself. And it was a nice boost yesterday. I know the distances are not absolutely huge, and moving from half marathon 23 is not the biggest deal in the world, but for me it was, because you're breaking through into new territory all the time, and it was something that, of course, I hadn't experienced it before, so I waited and see how my body reacted. It reacted well. I feel really good today. I did a little bit of stretching. I didn't do a huge amount yesterday. I should have done more, but yeah, feeling good. So let's get down the gym and get on with the rest of the day. It's pretty quiet down here in the gym. Not a lot of people. We've got some hip-hop music blasting out there, so just drowning that out with some music which is more interesting to me. But yeah, we're hitting the step machine first of all. I did think to myself, do you know what I could do? I could have just run on the treadmill down here. But I didn't really think about that, so I'm not fully prepared for it. Not quite the right shoes for doing that. We'll see how we go. But let's get this done. Let's start charging up the mountain. So I'm with a higher level on that step machine, Stairmaster, sorry. 70 floors, so another 10 floors on last week. Feeling really good, feeling very positive about how that went. The legs are getting the appropriate level of burn, I think. And now we're going for rolling hills, up in the lever again on the Quest trainer. So here's to it. Well, we're out here doing it, and actually the rain's not so bad, but the wind, wow, it's pretty bad indeed. So the reason why I'm coming out here just to kind of replicate those conditions that I might have next week. So what you can't do is shy away from these types of opportunities, because if I've got 2 hours of this next week, may as well get out there and start to see how I respond, see how the equipment responds as well. Anyway, I'll put the phone away now. Wow. I'm laughing, but whew, this headwind, it's definitely a test. Could do with the wind behind me, that would give me some extra speed. 5k complete, averaging 5:22 per kilometre. Now, finally got a chance to test out this Salomon jacket. After buying it, there was almost no rain at all, so this is the first official outing that I had. There is one element that makes it worth every single penny. I was running into pretty lively wind. This peak stayed up the whole time. The whole time you're running into the wind, didn't come down once. And having run in previous kind of waterproof, windproof jackets, that's the one thing that's most annoying, when the peak comes down and then you're trying to scramble to get it back up again and you just can't run in the wind. This is on point. Whew, that was good. That was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed getting out and testing out that jacket for the first time. In summary, bottom half soaked, top half completely dry, which is just excellent. Really, really cool. Just like I say, worth every penny for what it was able to offer me. And it's nice to just kind of experience what it's like to run at a pretty fast pace. That wouldn't be the pace that I'd be running a half marathon at. Certainly not now anyway. In the future, absolutely, I'll go for speed, but for now it's just distance and miles on the legs. Enjoyed that run a lot. It was wet, it was windy, but I got out there, got it done. And yeah, onwards and upwards for week 10. Can you believe it? We are edging ever closer to that day.